What's up, team? We're back in Wellington and it's cold. I'm trying to get back to used to the weather, but I just want to make sure that I'm keeping you in the loop with what's to come over the next couple of weeks because I want to really dive into what's happening with the mindset shifts or the mindset elements that I want to highlight and really open up for you to make sure that we're making the very most of this journey with you, making sure that you have that coach in your corner and really, I guess, shining light on what that process is about because I want you to know that there is no physical transformation or true transformation that happens long term unless there's an identity shift and upgrading of those standards that comes with it. So, making sure that as we go through this process, I want to highlight those steps and really make sure I'm doing my bit to make sure that we are highlighting points that maybe you're struggling with because it's never going to be a straight ride. And I hope I've made that relatively clear from the start is I'm not trying to sell you a gimmick of 10 kilos in 10 days and trying to get away from a society and a marketplace that is selling you on these dreams of instant gratification and just it all being an easy breeze because you take this one supplement. You know, if you've been around the block a couple times, that it's no longer about this and there needs to be a real upgrading of your mindset towards how you're able to upgrade to that new level of yourself if you want to make sure that this is a long-term change. So we're going to dive into different aspects of that over the next coming weeks and make sure that we are taking the time to really shine light on this because I want you to know that it's normal to have doubt throughout this process. It's normal to feel like you're struggling through a phase or feel like things aren't going as smoothly as planned. And this is the whole point of having someone in your corner. So, and also making sure that you have a community like this. I want to really build this movement, this intelligent movement of, you high achievers, you really motivated individuals that have pushed into a plan like this because you have a vision of what that goal is and you've actually taken action on that. And there's so many people out there that will put up their hand for a program or put up their hand for anything free. But once it's time to actually put the money down or put the action in place, it's all crickets. And it's, I heard this morning on a podcast is your yes has no value until you know how to say no. And I think that's a really cool saying that has some representation in what you're trying to do here because this transformation is a case of compromise. It is a case of improving or adjusting your habits, which in turn really starts to adjust your high identity as a human. I want you to respect that because this is not just a physical change. This is a process that requires a new level of standards for yourself and making sure that we highlight these aspects that allow you to create a new character and really push to a new higher standard of yourself is the true value in setting these goals in the first place. And there is a very big difference between goal setting and goal achievement. And what's in the middle is exactly what I'm talking about. It's this level of improving your steps or improving what you think of yourself as your identity and upgrading your standards towards this new person. So I just wanted to say hi, make sure I'm back in Wellington, and you'll be happy to know I'm freezing. As we start to get back into things, I want to make sure that you are taking your time to really extract value. At the end of the day, guys, what you get out of a coaching program like this or working with a coach is the ability to really extract what you need because information is never your missing link. You can get information anywhere. It's really making sure that we know those next steps for you. I've worked with people that are already in your position, and this process has been tweaked and tested with over 200 clients now with this online program and training program in general. So I've seen it, I've heard it, and I've been able to change that trajectory of what is to come. So make sure that if you're stuck in a path, you feel like things aren't running smoothly, then I want you to reach out and make sure that we're making the very most of this program together and making sure that as we move forward, you're really enjoying yourselves, but making sure that no challenge is every challenge is worth really taking the time to overcome because it is really that process of upgrading yourself to that next step. So without rambling on too much, I just want to know that you guys are in this boat with me to know that there is an upgrading of everything and you need to make sure that you're taking the time to really stay on this long term because you did have the motivation. You were in a high state when you signed up for this program knowing that this was the step you needed to take. And I know that now that we're moving on to that next step, we need to make sure that you're still following through on your own promise, and there's an integrity towards yourself to make sure that you follow through, because the light at the end of the tunnel is always worth it. So keep that head down, work hard, and if there's anything along that track that needs to be cleared up, it's in your court.